One of the saddest problems that we Jews have been accused time and again is our inability to accept the differences among us. Throughout history, we have heard about how Jews separated themselves from each other, too often seeing only our differences and overlooking all of our commonalities. And rather than celebrating those differences that we see among ourselves, we too often criticize those differences. And instead of drawing each other closer, we find ourselves only associating with other Jews whom apparently appear to be just like us. As we are drawing to the close of what was a very special holiday season this year, we have found ourselves rising above these disagreements. We have found that over this past month, we are no longer seeing the different things that we wear on our heads, and instead we see what is in our hearts. We have spent a month together, Jews who attend synagogue 3 times a year, together sitting and praying with Jews who attend synagogue 3 times a day. Jews from the West and Jews from the East. Jews with black hats and Jews without. We have risen above the difference throughout this holiday season, thinking instead of our wonderfully blended communities rather than our personal interests. But too often, as we see the holiday of Sukkot draws to a close, we often return to the divisiveness and the self-interests that separate us one from another. The Talmud teaches us that at the close of the holiday of Sukkot, we have the holiday of Shmini Atzeres, which is known by many as the final days of Sukkot, even though it is a holiday of its own. This concluding day of our holiday season is a day that the Almighty calls out to us, and he calls to all of his children, and he says, don't go. Don't leave me. I want you to stay with me for another day. Please, just wait and stay with me a little longer. Stay with me one more day. Because, as a father says to his children, it's hard for me to separate from you. And like a father, asking his children at the end of their holiday, when they come home and visit with their parents, don't leave right away. It's hard for me, he says. Stay with me just one more day, a day just for us, for our family, for me and the children. And that expression that we find in the Talmud is kasha alai fradeschem. That is, you're separating is hard for me. And yet, there's another way to understand this statement. Not just that you're separating is hard for me, but you're separating one from another is hard on me. We understand that it's not just that you leave me, Hashem says, and you go back home, but the problem is that you separate from each other. My children, he calls out to us. We gathered together for these holidays. We prayed together, we cried together, and then came Sukkot, and we celebrated together. And please understand how much I love that you were all together with me. All of my children, all together, united, celebrating your differences, one with a kippah, one without, one who is wealthy, one less so, one liberal, one conservative, all of you, all together. But now the holiday is almost over and you'll be leaving. Give me one more day of your unity, of your staying together. One more day for you to stay united as brothers and sisters, and then maybe it'll just stay that way. We don't read this, it's hard for me that you separate from me, but rather it's hard for me that you separate from each other. Let's stay together, Hashem asks of us, and let's celebrate Simchas Torah, the uniting power of the Torah, one Torah for all of us. And how will we dance on Simchas Torah? We dance with hakafos, in a circle. No front, no back, no one leading, no one following, no separations, no differences. Everyone together in the circle. Everyone equal. No up, no down. Everyone is united. Everyone is together. Everyone is holding hands. The big hat with the small one, the observant with the less so. All a part of the same circle. Hashem is not just asking us to stay with him. He's asking us to stay together, united. Your separations from each other, he says, hurts me. Keep dancing together when you leave me. Stay in the circle. Stay together. Stay united. If there's anything that we can take with us from this past month of these wonderful holidays that we celebrated together, is that we should all stay together. It's that Hashem is asking us, not just we should all stay together, but he's asking us to stay together always. Thank you.